Look, Rob G, breakdown. So Kevin Durant is bothered, hot and bothered, upset that NBA 2K has apparently insulted him with a 96 ranking. Now it's on a scale of 0 to 100. And I'm told Michael Jordan was a 100. And the Giannis was a 97. And KD, I might miss somebody, Rob G, but KD, Steph, Joel Embiid,
Jokic,
and LeBron. They were all 96s, and Kevin Durant is hot. Tell us what he said on Twitter.
Oh, that's an understatement. He tweeted out, and you know Kevin Durant, when he tweets, he means it. He said, "A at Ronnie2K, who's one of the game developers.
I know Ronnie 2K.
I'm gonna sure you do, Chris.
No, he hit me about getting, using my likeness and junk in there.
Rob, we don't believe that, right, Rob? We don't believe that.
I let him do it.
In any event, did they do it?
Yeah. I've never played this game in my life.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently they're using it.
Well, KD said, "Hey, at Ronnie2K, I'm gonna need an explanation on why I'm not a 99. This has become laughable."
I can give KD an explanation, and I say this with all due respect to KD. The last time we saw you, you were outplayed by Jayson Tatum. And Jayson Tatum got a 93. There you have. It's as simple as that. And I'm not saying Tatum should have been higher than KD. And I don't have a problem with KD being a 96 along with those other great players, but that's it. That will dock you a few points, I imagine. And so to me, Rob, that's a solid explanation of why KD, he hasn't gotten the Nets past the second round. They were just swept. And those are some solid explanations in my book.
I wish I could be worked up over this. I'm sorry. That some arbitrary number that somebody came up with in a formula. It's fine. It's not like they gave him a 55. I just don't even understand why you would be bothered so much about it. You know what I mean? But I guess, as I said, he's the most sensitive of all time. So that's why he's so, they gave me a 96. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. I don't get it. I just don't get.
Well,
really?
In fairness to KD and Rob G, you may know, I imagine you've played NBA 2K.
Have you?
And you're into it.
Yes. I'm not into
Rob,
it, but I have played
it.
Yes.
No. I missed the video era games.
I'm thankful that I did.
I played Pong. You remember that, Chris? We played.
Yes, I do remember Pong.
Rob G, you know what Pong is?
Absolutely.
You know that, but that was the video game when we thought we were like
slab on each side,
right, and you would just have to hit the ball back and forth, and we thought this is unbelievable. He got Pong for Christmas. Are you kidding me? Got a video game.
My grandfather had it. That was the first time I saw it, and but I did play obviously Atari. I'm sure you played Atari, Rob.
Yes, I do. Remember
and then
that.
in television, in college, and television was hot, and I'm thankful that I missed, I like Miss Pac-Man and Space Invaders and all that junk. But I'm glad, Rob, that I missed the era because it saved me a lot of money. And I'm not like ragging on cats for being addicted or close to it because I could easily, there were times where we just wanted to play in television all night. And so I understand. Obviously the games today are way better than that. So I understand how guys can be addicted, but for those dudes that, can make a living doing it, don't let it. This is my public service announcement today. Do not let video games, even though they're good, there's no problem with it, but do not let them keep you from doing productive things elsewhere and expanding your horizons. But anyway, in fairness to KD, he is not the only athlete, Rob, to respond like this. Rob G, wide receivers get ticked off annually by their ranking, don't they?
Absolutely. Even today, when these rankings started to trickle out, Klay Thompson went on like an Instagram stories, right? It wasn't a Twitter like KD. And he ended it with, he called them bums, and he said that Madden over 2K all day or something like that.
No, I'm fine with it, man. And so I just think that KD is off base here. And I mean, is he saying he's saying he should be a 99? So he's obviously saying he should be ahead of Giannis. He's not saying all of us who were 96s should be 99s. I mean, Steph has an argument. Steph just led a team to the championship. You know, LeBron averaged 30 as a 37-year-old. So I just think KD, like I said, I think that's a solid explanation that I gave him. And, you know, I think it's as simple as that. If you and the best thing, hopefully, for KD and the Nets, this motivates him. He should have a ton of motivation, Rob. I mean, obviously, all the players should be motivated to do their thing this year. But, man, no one should be more motivated than Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I don't think he needs that to be more. He should just play and be the best player that he can be. And he knows that he wasn't last year in that playoff. He keeps getting hurt.
Because that tweet doesn't tell me he knows.
Yeah, but I don't think that they, you know, if you're going to use that, and you already mentioned it, Jayson Tatum had 400 turnovers in the finals, so he shouldn't be higher. I mean, okay, he beat Kevin Durant, but that performance wouldn't put him ahead of too many other people with that. So, I mean, we could look at it anyway and handpick things that didn't go right for people and put them. I don't think. I mean,
they played each other straight up.
You know, I'm just saying. But the turnovers were historic. You know what I mean? So you could look at him and say, well.
Oh, I'm not saying he should have been ahead of KD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm saying
you look at it. Yeah.
I'm just saying, though, he did outplay KD, and that's
I agree with that part.
KD is not a 99, or one reason. That's all
right. But also, it wasn't like they put him over KD. Is my point.
Right. And I don't think they should have.
If he was over KD, would he have an argument, Chris? He would have an argument.
With KD?
KD would have an argument.
Oh, absolutely.
If they put Tatum
He's
over
better
him.
than Jayson Tatum.
Right. That's what
I mean,
we all
unless Tatum
know
comes out and, you know, does the same thing to him every time they play this year and, you know, has a fantastic season and really takes another leap, Rob. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not as good as
the year
KD.
Before the Nets, didn't they sweep the Celtics or they beat them in 5 games?
They beat them in 5. With Kyrie and Harden.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. Yeah. But if they played each other then, they were still on each other, you know what I mean? And Durant played well. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, this is not about Durant not being a great player. It's about I understand why he's not a 99 is what I'm saying. But there was more. Now, Rob G, what was up with Russell Westbrook?
Oh, this one's even more egregious. We talked about it with Ephraim Salam in hour 1, Chris, before you jumped on. They released all of the ratings for every team and every player slowly throughout the day. And Jovan Buha, friend of this show, shared on on Twitter, the whole Lakers roster's ratings on 2K. Obviously, LeBron and AD were 1 and 2. But
what was AD? LeBron was a 96.
AD was a 90.
Wow, he's dropped off.
Yeah, well, he's missed like the last 2 seasons.
He's not available,
yeah.
Chris.
But,
I mean, I think it's more that.
You
just can't count on him.
But the big headline, Russell Westbrook, only a 78. Patrick Beverley, a 79. Kendrick Nunn, also a 78. So according to NBA 2K, Patrick Beverley is a better player than Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook is on par with Kendrick Nunn, who did not play a single minute last season.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. Rob, to me, that's ridiculous.
But this is what Chris, we had a conversation where I said last season, and no matter what, you know, when you look into the numbers, it hurt Westbrook as far as how people looked at him. And this is clearly an example. I'm with you. I think this is a ridiculous rating, but this is how bad people look at Westbrook and think like he's a nobody or he's a nothing. It's insulting. It really is. But that's how ugly his season looked to a lot of people.
Well, and here's his season, right? And look, I'm not going to sit here and act like Russell Westbrook had a good season. All right? He didn't. But this is the season that everybody is destroying Russell Westbrook for. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game, and shot 44% from the field. Rob, in his illustrious career, guess how many times he has shot better? That was the 5th highest field goal percentage in his 13 seasons as an NBA player. So, again, I'm not saying he played great 14 seasons. But Patrick Beverley would die for those numbers. And Kendrick Nunn, I think the Nunn being equal to Russ is even more egregious. Because we don't know what Nunn's going to do. I assume they're projections. But Russ is not, to have Patrick Beverley ahead of Russ, I get fit. I actually like Beverley with the Lakers. But I think, Rob, as you said, this is incredible that they would give Russell Westbrook this low a number. And you said you think that it's going to – how bad do you think it's going to hurt his legacy?
It's not like – it's just a perception of him. If this is the last we see of him and either he has a bad year again or he's cut by the Lakers before the season starts or he's John Wall or whatever it is and he doesn't play – people will have a bad taste in their mouth about him. We get the triple-doubles and all that. He's been on 4 teams in 4 years. The end of his career is raggedy. I best to call him Raggedy Andy. It just hasn't been pretty, and I think people look at it.
Raggedy
That's why
Russell?
Raggedy Russell, that's not bad.
That.
Yeah. I know wasn't there a Raggedy Andy doll? Chris, didn't you have that on your bed when you were growing up?
Yeah, no. I didn't have dolls on my bed. Although I did have the little superhero dolls, Batman.
See, you did have
Superman
dolls. See? You did.
G.I. Joe.
I had a G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
Yes.
Or the
little
afro.
Hair. He was black. The little afro he had.
Yeah, we had a black G.I. Joe. Rob G. Did you?
I don't think they meant for him to be black. I don't think they meant for him to be black, but they tried to give him a buzz cut.
But
it was
black.
like black hair.
Because he had
was he black? Was he officially black?
He had a pick in his back pocket. I'm telling you, he's black. Okay,
a fist pick. No, Rob, and for all those young people out there, do not let this ruin your perception of Russell Westbrook. I'm not talking about the score he got from NBA 2K. These last seasons of his career, it didn't ruin Allen Iverson's legacy. Don't let it ruin Russell Westbrook. Is KD have a point? Is he rated too low by NBA 2K?
All right, let's kick it off with Brandon in Dallas. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, B?
Man, what is up, my guys? Haven't talked to y'all in a while. Haven't even heard you guys in a while. But I'm great to love hearing both of you guys, man. Going on year 4, man, going strong.
Yes.
Yeah, we're coming up. 4th anniversary is on the 17th of the month. And on the 18th, Chris, we'll start our 5th year full-time together, which is amazing.
Yeah, I started listening to you guys. I found y'all's show in the summer of 2019. So, man, been listening to y'all guys strong since then.
Thank you, bud.
And we started off on Sundays. That's
right. We did a once-a-week show for what? What was that like?
Probably
about 6 months.
6 months.
Probably about 6 months. Yeah.
All right, what you got, B?
But I wanted to touch real quick, man, on these two individuals' ratings, man. First of all, KD, I think I'm agree with you two guys. I agree with Rob. I think he is appropriately rated. The last time we saw him, he was playing well, but it wasn't at his best. He got outplayed. So I think a 96 is strong. A 96 is strong. It's not a 99, but it's strong. And
look at the players he's listed with at 96. Come on.
Yeah, it's good company. And in my opinion, KD, there's problems with KD personality-wise. He is. My NBA memory goes back to '89, and I cannot remember anybody that was a bigger mama's boy than KD. Everything is just rabbit ears. He's just so sensitive to everything, but he feels like he has the right to just talk trash about everybody. And he talks about grown-ups. I've seen him talk trash to little kids on social network and all that kind of stuff. And it's really unnecessary, especially because he can't take, the reciprocation. And, that's what I have to say about KD.
Well, do you think he can't take it?
That's
the only thing
he's
I
shown he
question.
can't take
Why?
it. He's shown he can't take it.
What makes you think he can't take it? That he
Well,
responds?
the fact that going back years to where he was in OKC, his mother would clap back at Stephen A. Smith, and I know he didn't.
Okay, but
or
that
as far as
doesn't
we
mean
know,
he
he
can't
didn't tell her
take
to
it.
do that.
Let me
But
say
with the
this.
burner
Just
account-
because you respond to something doesn't mean you can't take it.
Let me
I would
say
say
this.
he can't take it if it affected
okay, well, with
his
the burner
play.
accounts, and there's been
Now the
multiple,
burner accounts
there's
is
been
a,
multiple.
that I agree with you on the burner
probably,
account.
And probably for the first
That
time,
was
thanks for the
weak.
call, B, in the history of newspapers, when they had a retraction, Chris, for a headline they wrote in the paper in Oklahoma City. Do you remember that?
That's another good example.
That's
a
the
good
example. A
Right.
retraction. Chris, we worked in New York. Can you imagine them writing a retraction?
No.
For the headlines that they
It
put
would
in the-
not have happened.
in the
No.
New York papers? They would laugh you off your request.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Let's squeeze in Rodney in Pasadena real quick.
That and the burner accounts I'll
Yeah.
give you. But as long
Rodney.
as it ain't affecting his game, he can do what he wants.
You're on the Odd Couple, Rodney. What's up?
How you doing, fellas?
Doing good.
Look
up?
here, I'm a bit biased, but I follow Russell Westbrook from Lawndale through. I'm a UCLA Bruin, OKC, Houston, and the Lakers, and he deserves a lot more respect than he's getting. This guy's standalone performance, where he's come from, what he's achieved, should be a lot more respect than it is. Yeah, rough year last year. I mean, LeBron's probably going to diminish your skill set unless you're a shooter. And again, I just think he's getting, as a homer, local here, he needs a lot more love than he's getting. So that's just a perspective that I have on Russell, and I think he's a good
we
guy.
get it.
And
We agree
he'll be
with that.
fine. Yeah.
We agree with that it's rough. But I said this to Chris before. The perception out there was, despite the numbers, Chris, it was, remember they had the video of him missing shots and air balls and off the side of the backboards.
Yep.
I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly last year.
Yeah, it was. There's no sugarcoating it.